after that, I started moonlighting at the Pizza Palace in Torrance, which happened to be the parent store of the chain, and the owners had their office in the back. There's several coincidences, I think, or strokes of luck or whatever fate. Sunday night they were going somewhere with George, the manager. So as they were going out, George said, make sure you plead to walk into the cooler tonight. And I said, I already did. So either Chuck or Bill, I don't remember which, did a U-turn and went back and looked. He said, yeah, it's all done. And then George said something else that I was supposed to do, and the other one, either Chuck or Bill went and checked on that. And this is before the Sunday rush had really even gotten underway. And normally those types of things are things that you do after the rush is all over. And whatever the other one was, that was already done. And they didn't say anything about it, but they just left. And wasn't too much longer after that George got his own store, so Chuck and Bill asked me if I'd managed the main store. That was their biggest and main store. And if I'd managed that store. They offered me as much as I was making as a parole agent for the state, but I couldn't work part-time as a parole agent for my second job, so I thanked them and said no thanks. And not too much later, maybe, I don't know, maybe 6 months later or something, they had invited me to go play golf out at Mission Viejo. And I told them I didn't play golf. They said, that's all right. A lot of them don't. It was a franchise golf tournament. So I went out there and made a fool of myself. He said, where are you going? I said, it's over, isn't it? So we didn't get you out here to play golf. I said, well, that's good, because I didn't do a very good job of that. He said, come on back in, we want to talk to you. And so I went back in and they said, how'd you like to be partners with us on 3 stores in San Diego? I said, well, no, you may be talking something that's of interest to me. So long story short, we formed a corporation, Stoli Foods Incorporated, to open 3 stores in San Diego. And the first one was Fletcher Parkway in La Mesa. And I don't think the doors had been open a week when I get informed that Chuck and Bill sold all their interest in all the stores and in the part ownership of other stores to SAG administration. So all of a sudden I was partners with some company I never heard of. Well, they called me and wanted to come down for a meeting. They came down. They said, you know, we don't like these partnership type deals. I said, well, I'm not exactly wild about it myself, because you know, I know Chuck and Bill, and I had no problems wanting to be in business with them, but nothing against you guys, but I don't know you from Adam, you know. They said, well, what do you think about you taking this store, lock, stock, and barrel, and forget the other 2? So instead of being a 1/3 owner of 3 stores, I was a total owner of 1 store, which is fine with me. And so for the next 10 years, that's where we were, you included, Mark and Wade, because all 3 of you guys worked there from the start till the end. When we first opened the doors, the business wasn't really there, but it got built up over the years. A lot of it had to do with groups. Pop Warner, Little League, now Bobby Sox, Mother Twins clubs, Bluegrass clubs, you name it. There was a club, they were meeting at our place. And Straw Hat had a store up in Concord, California. It was sort of a rundown store, and so they remodeled it. And at that time, the popular thing all over the place was garden windows, earth tones, greenhouse effect, and that's how they remodeled that store. And business went up. So they rationalized from that if all the stores were done like that, they would all do better. So they put out an edict saying that this was the new style instead of the gay 90s atmosphere and the picnic benches and tables and red flock wallpaper and so on, that it would now be earth tones, hanging plants, garden windows, all that stuff. And I had the survey done, contractor study, and about $80,000 to remodel it, which I would have done had I been convinced that it would increase business. But I was convinced that it would decrease business. So being I was a franchise and they held the master lease on the building, they couldn't force me to do it until 5 more years, till my franchise agreement ran out, at which time, if I didn't comply with the new standards, I could no longer be a Straw Hat franchise, nor could I keep that building because they had the lease on it. So I figured I better sell while I got something to sell, instead of just some used equipment. So I put it up for sale, and I got a buyer at my price.